a video was released when we commended the Kenyans on their bravery, show of courage, and how democracy must be handled. So we got a couple of comments whereby the Kenyans told us that in Kenya they have a compulsory subject which is geography and history. But we know in Nigeria the history has been totally erased. And that begs the question that is this why we don't even know where we are coming from, not to talk of where we are going. But of course, the Kenyans have shown courage. So what is your take? What do you think about the Kenyans before we come to Nigerian issue?
No, yes, I think they have set they're like pace setters of the 21st century. The quest for African youths, to rise up to the occasion and begin to ask questions. First, asking questions. Why is this thing like this? Why is it that Africa is not working? So, a big kudos. When is a big one for Kenyans. To have shown courage, like you said, to have shown that the youth of Africa can do it, and it is they are like more like a pace setter to other African countries who is struggling to even know whether there is leadership in their own country. And thank God that William Ruto was able to, sit back and revise some of these policies, even though the war and the fight is still on. So, Kenyans, wherever you are watching this platform from, we are speaking from somewhere in West Africa. I don't say I want to. I'm not ashamed of calling the country name, but at least I can say it for those who want to hear. We are speaking from the center of excellence somewhere in West Africa. Because if you say you're a Nigerian, people will look at you, begin to look at you from the position of the government. They don't see you as an individual. They don't see you as a Nigerian. They see you from that angle of corruption. And that is what Nigeria signifies all over the world. There is this moral suspicion attached to the entity called Nigeria. So among African black brothers, but look at the space the Kenyan youth has opened up now, and they are becoming role model to other African countries who are actually warming up. Apart from those who have already been delivered, like Burkina Faso has been delivered, Mali has been delivered. We are looking at Senegal. Niger has been delivered. You can see that the US military are leaving Niger as I'm talking to you. We need to disconnect. Whether Nigeria is possessed by IMF and World Bank policies, we need to know. Why is it Nigeria is not working? We need to know. Why can't I have 2 hours electricity? We need to know. Why is it that Lagos State does not have water? We need to know until individuals begin to dig everywhere for water. And we have what Lagos State Water Corporation. I have seen what is happening. And they were even trying to tell Nigerians, as the giant of Africa, to take a step. So it's a good one for Kenyans that are watching this platform somewhere in Kenya, Nairobi, wherever you're watching. The African youth are proud of you for standing up, trying to define a moment for Africa. There's no need of us, solely depending on the white man to do a lot of things for us. The mama were born white man, carry on for 9 months. The mama were born black man, carry on for 9 months. So why is it that why is it that the black man is stepping aside and when it comes to or something that has to do with humanity? And that is why we are celebrating the Kenyan youth for standing against intimidation, for standing against injustice, for standing against decided organized gang up against the citizens of Kenya. The African youth are celebrating you. And in Nigeria here, please, wherever you see this video, if you're a Kenyan citizen, continue to spread it. Let it go all over Africa. Continue to watch this program because the consciousness needs to be built The people need to understand the era they are now, currently now. The youth of Africa need to understand where they are now. The youth of Africa need to understand why there is extreme hunger in Africa. Why that leadership in Africa is not working. Is it as a result of colonial influence? Is it that the World Bank does not want Africa to survive? Is it that the IMF is destroying Africa with their policies? We need to know. We need to destroy AU, ECOWAS, remove all these organizations that has not imparted anything on Africa.
The Kenyans have going all out to go against any IMF policy because they have now been
I
exposed
didn't know
that the IMF are ready to cripple the African.
bro, what you're saying, I don't know. I'm just saying it because I begin to know. Look at this. Why is it that always? What is it? Nigerians are not brave enough. The northern, the north are cowards. The south too are cowards.
Could it be because of education?
Bros, let me tell you. You see, when I say it, you say, yeah. Who is government teacher in Africa, in Nigeria? It was the question Fela Nicola Okiti asked them. Wetin unite for inside United Nations? What is the capitalist theory and philosophy of World Bank and IMF on Africa? Go and check. Why is it that anytime we are having spies, CIA agents, FBI agents, they will find them in shares, mobiles, in multinationals? Why is it that anytime we want to see people who want to advise leaders, governors, presidents, they come from this cabal, this cartel? They tell you, it's World Bank policy. Is this, and look at where they are coming from. You either see them in Shell, you either see them in Mobile, you either see them in all these multinationals representing colonial interests in Africa. In China, they throw away spoon. You know what it is? They use stick. They don't want to see any element of colonization in their life.
They use chopstick.
I don't know whether it's chopstick.
There was something impressive the Kenyans did. Do you know that the IMF advised Ruto to open the market for importation of Irish potatoes into his country? But when the Kenyan youth protested, Ruto has now invested almost 200 million Kenyan shillings to the local farmers.
Look at what they did in Burkina Faso. Look at the revolution in agriculture currently now as I speak to you. They sent France away, sent all this, get out. Want to stay. They struggled. Nigerians leaders are very lazy. The cerebral oblongor is tantamount to 0/0. The life Nigeria is having today is because, do you know what Nigeria would have been doing? Do you know what Nigerians would have been doing? They cannot even light ordinary city. It's a serious matter. And that is why every time you go, there's a guy they make reference to. When they were trying to say, Tinubu, invade Nigeria. You know that there was one military guy that stood up from Burkina Faso. That this video went viral. Bro, I don't know whether I'm correct. If you look at what that guy was highlighting, you will suspect that our leaders are not brave enough to tell a white man, go and sit down, even in the international conference. We are not interested in this. Cut off any bilateral that is a threat to the development of the most populous nation in the world, Black Africa. You only see them.
They are puppets.
Even the time they are fantastically corrupt. They see the Nigerian leaders are fantastically corrupt. Who is going to have that bravery to waive all this loan? Now this one don't go again. Now he come hook up. Now they tell and say they don't trap him. You went and collected 150 million US dollars and gave out the moral consciousness of your nation to monetary value. Bro, do you know what is called morality? Morality is built on law and order. And when you lose it, there is nothing like democracy again. Me, I am telling you that Fela Anikulapo Kuti has always been a right man. When you tell them, say, una sit down. You can look at all the Fela songs. I'm saying it because it's a reality. You can go and find out yourself. There was no Igbo man that was indicted in that Fela song. All his songs, there's no Igbo man there. You have Hausa, you have Yoruba there. They are all there. They are the people. Fela singled them out. Now, the only solution is when people like you are doing this kind of a thing, so that that consciousness will gradually come. Do you know why EndSARS became a success? Because we have a lot of victims in Victoria Island that the policemen we are using POS. You understand? And some of those guys that are closer to one celebrity or the other has been victim. And the last one was the one they did in Delta after they killing the man. They and the people say, who did it? They said SARS, because there's no how you will do it. One or two, I will see you. And that was what ignited. What is going to ignite what we are going to see today? Kenya, what is happening in Kenya will be a child's play. Because their own is being driven by policy. Our own is being driven by a dangerous part of humanity called hunger. Their own is just policy, but our own is hunger. And you know what? When it's coming, it's going to be, they can't be able to use anything to look at it. And that is, see, I'm not telling you from a level source, Tinubu is currently worried. No matter how you look at it, what Ndume told him is just the plain truth. The guy is worried because every day he has security reports and he's gathering momentum. So the Kenyans, unfortunately, we are learning the effects of bad policies from IMF and World Bank, and we people have done a good job by trying to push back or even checkmate these excesses. Some of them are even unnecessary. So in Nigeria, who is going to stand up and say this IMF policy, this World Bank policy, it's not going to work? On every corner sector of the Nigerian economy, you see IMF hand, World Bank hand. If you go to Redway, you see their hand. Any corner, they just carry everything. They choke Nigeria up and down. Leave Nigeria. No, the leaders are not even courageous, because they measure you by the level of IQ, intelligence quotiency. That's why they said, go to Chatham House. Anybody that go to Chatham House becomes the president of Nigeria. They select the way they want. They give him, they appear at Chatham House, they give him presidency because they have tested. Then why is he not running away? Say they are not interested. They don't know how Mane Tinubu became president. When you know that a certain figure among these three, Peter Obi, was outstanding in everything. Still, Britain does not want Peter Obi to be president. They want always to sit on Nigerian wealth and do like Okocha on top of it. Me, thank you for this angle you have taken, and we continue to represent not the farmers' opinion, our mothers who are in the forest, cultivating. There's no police there. There's no police post near them. They are farming inside the forest. No police, no security, no surveillance. They are Nigerians too. And we are here, we are experiencing, we put earpiece, we will do this one, we'll do this one. Those who are inside suburbs, what do you imagine the kind of trauma they go on daily basis? And that is the people these platforms will continue to represent here in Nigeria and anywhere in Africa.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much for that wonderful submission. Yes, we've come to the end of today's meeting. So, my viewers, wherever you are in Kenya, Nairobi, in Ghana, in Accra, in Nigeria, in Abuja, I want to say thank you. In Swahili, I want to say Asante Sana. Thank you for joining us. Kenya, we are watching on to you guys. We are learning from you guys. To my fellow Nigerians, I urge you all to learn from the Kenyans, from their bravery, from the courage, and we need to educate ourselves more about democracy. The people, only when they are active is when you have a working democracy. If we keep quiet, the leaders will continue to oppress us. The Western powers, the Western hegemony through the World Bank and IMF will continue to impoverish the people. I mean, and we must stand up for our right, must fight for our right, because this country belongs to us. Africa must rise again. Kenyans, thank you for showing us how it is done. Bye for now.